Right, I reckon I might be live, so if anyone turns up, if you would just say, "Hi Steve, I can hear you," or something similar to that, that'd be great. Hi Alan, you made it mate, well done. Thanks for joining. 5 and 9, brilliant. Adrian Hobby, woohoo. Well, I should be a little bit bigger, the webcam. Adrian Hobby, yeah. Anas, hiya, welcome aboard. We just see what develops, shall we? Never know what these streams are going to be about. Someone might have bought a new rig, got a SWR problem, whatever. So just for the record, I'm doing fine. We've got the Foxcam rigged up again. Like we might possibly have a visitor. And I just hope that if he turns up, that he don't trip over the foxbowl, because it looks quite light out there, but trust me, it's not. Adrian Hobby, yes, Adrian had a bit of an issue with his Zello audio. Does work now. So we just kick off by saying, how is everyone? Has anyone got anything on their wish list? Bought something? Developed a problem? You know, Albert Footy. Hi Albert, how are you mate? Dipsy, disappointed me mate. I reckon someone had to just wake you up, didn't they? Ben Speed says, how's Trick Steve? Yeah, fine thanks mate, fine. Hope all's well there in Welsh Wales, if I'm not mistaken. Dave L, evening mate. I'll just go back to this original screen for the minute, because it is actually raining a little bit, and our little furry friends don't really tend to turn up when it's raining. Dipsy, do yeah, I'll get it. Blame someone else when you're late. Ain't my fault. It was whatever, innit? It don't really matter. Anna said he'd like some skip to warm up the 9900. Well, to be honest, skip is very random, and you will have people going, next year it's all going to kick off, the skip's going to be up, and they'll talk like there's some sort of authority on it. The next year will come, nothing. Yet in the next 10 minutes that skip could just turn up. The sun's got a mind of its own. Albert Footy says, what program do I use? Albert, I use a thing called DaVinci Resolve. There is the latest version is DaVinci Resolve 17. It's free, but I'm actually using DaVinci Resolve 16, because in the latest one there's a feature that I like using that has completely changed. So yeah. John Shepherd, hi mate, signing in from Humber Bridge. Mr. Fred, I've got something here for you. It was sent by Merrill. Well, I say it's for you. He basically gave it to me and then said, if you want it, you can have it. What is it? I think it's some sort of manual for one of the rigs you've got. I'll soon tell you. It's for the Alinco DX77. It's just how to use it, mate. You should be able to see that on there, Fred. If you want it, you'll have to give me an address or something. I'll have to save up for a bloody stamp, if I'm honest. But yeah, Merrill did say, if Fred wants it, give it to Fred. Yeah, Ben Speed says don't forget to hit like. It's up to you if you like the video. I seem to have attracted a devout disliker. Alright. That's slowly going through all my videos, dislike, dislike, dislike. Now whether that gives them some sort of pleasure, they're getting off on it. Whether they think they're being clever or whatever, but you know. I'll be around on here long after they've got bored of that. Adrian Obby says not sure if he likes it yet. Well, that's fair enough, mate. There's plenty of other people you can go and watch if you need that instant thing. Some scantily dressed woman or something like that might do it for you, mate. Okay, Fred. Yeah, got it. I think that's basically what this is, mate. But Merrill did mention you, so if you didn't have one, I could have sent you that, but no problem. Colin Guntrip, hi mate. Mikey Smith. Mikey Smith again, LOL. Adrian Obby, I think Adrian might be going. Yeah, fair enough, Dick. So you never know, do you? You know, it is what it is. I can actually look on this program to see who's in chat. Let me just have a look. Well, according to my PC, Adrian's still in here. So yeah, Adrian, sit back, you know, roll a fag, make yourself a cup of tea or whatever. We'll just see what develops. Has anybody out there got any questions regarding CV? Mikey Smith says he likes the new layout. Yeah, cheers, Mikey. It's something I'm playing about with, and I don't know if you saw, I think the last live stream I had the camera pointing down on the foxbowl, and the fox actually did come. It was almost like, wow, you know, it turned up right on cue. Tea's gone and he don't smoke. Okay, Adrian, no worries, mate. Dipsy says, how do you write a professional CV? Look up a template online and just copy that, to be honest with you, mate. Albert 30 says he's got DaVinci. Albert, how long have you had DaVinci Resolve for, mate? And what is it you're actually struggling with? More to the point, Albert, how are you getting on with your 6900 now? If you sort of learnt to sort of work around your QRM problem, Ben Speed says, can he convert a CB250 to run on vegetable oil? I highly doubt it, mate. It's only diesels that fire on compression, so I doubt you can do that. No, back in the day I did run one of my motorbikes on paraffin. Didn't do it a lot of good at all. Albert Footy spent 2 hours with Da Vinci. Albar says he's got 3 new breakers on, all on the 6900. Jahoop, blessings from Birmingham, England. Hiya, Jahoop. Yeah, Albert, the 6900, the display is quite bright, and I never really had any issues with it until I was using it in my car overnight, and I used to slide it onto the dashboard on like an anti-slip mat, and it is quite dazzling. Do you know what? I worry about you lot sometimes. Anyway, I know a lot of you people all sort of scan around. You know, you might say, is that your guitar? Or what's this? You know, the light on the wall. There's something new in this scene. I don't know whether you've actually clocked it, anyone, yet. William Welsh says, how long does the patch lead need to be between the rig and the linear? I used to make up patch leads about 3 foot long when I was home base, and I used to use what would be like RG213. And the reason they were 3 foot long, because if you made it a foot long, the coax almost like an iron bar. The longer it is, the more malleable it becomes, and you can sort of jiggly stuff around. Adrian Obby says a real rig, Fidelity 1000. Yeah, Fred says that Albert's crashing in. Yeah, it's frustrating, isn't it? Because Albert's getting out really well. And, you know, the receive is the issue. It's an issue for a lot of people. It's like a lot of people will say they're trying to get in on the 305 net and people are ignoring them. They're not being ignored. It's just the fact that everyone has a certain amount of noise. Now, unless you can get over that noise, you're just not going to make the trip. Andy Bibby says something about a new vape. I've not. But I've got 2 of these. This bit is only the battery. One's black, one's blue. No, it's not the handheld in the box. That's one of them UV. I can't even remember the model of that one. That's the 8-watt version. That one, I've got 2 of them. Ches says he runs QRP 10 watts straight into a set of 200s. Yeah, fair enough. Mikey Smith, the Fidelity 1000 was a volume and squelch job, total bleed over box. The Fidelity 2000 and 2001 were better, and the home base that you're thinking of, I think that was the Fidelity 3000, which was also a bleed over box, but it did work. Robert Gibbs says that his new Sirio Game Master really helped reduce his noise levels. I wonder if that's because it's got the pre-wound choke on the bottom of it, or I don't know, with noise. I don't know what a cheat hair is, to be honest. Now I'm facing the same way as what I always do. In actual fact, I think I'm only running on the one light again tonight, which is pretty amazing, bearing in mind I'm only using a webcam. It seems to be well enough lit. This was something really that maybe Alan might be interested in. That's the video lights that I use. I know some people, you can spend hundreds on them, great big things. This is quite an old one, and you can run it on AA batteries or a proper like lithium cell that looks like that. Then, you know, they last ages. But the light I'm actually using at the minute is connected up to a 12-volt power supply. Albast, at last, someone spotted Percy. Hang on. Someone said they spotted a chest hair. Yeah, Dipsy, I changed the colour just to mix it up a little bit, mate. Alan Touchwood says, put the parrot on my shoulder. I can't. It's healed up now. Well, you might just see it. Thing bit me yesterday. I ain't going anywhere near it. Swady boy, yeah, welcome to the stream, mate. I see that you're still on the way home. Yeah, good to see you on here. If I'm still streaming when you get home, maybe you can sort of update us as to whether anything come of that rig that Alan told you about. I can actually turn all the writing off if I want, but you know, might as well have it there, ain't I? No, the parrot, Fred. Parrot. It's got a bit of a temperament on it, to be honest. Well, we'll switch over to the dual thing because I'm finding myself not checking to see if the fox is coming. There might be another cat there, because there is 3 cats actually come. Colin Guntrip said, I've had almost all of the CBs in the Truck King catalogue. Now Merrill sent me that. That's Charlie Tango 11. He must have had it for years, and he messaged me one day, said, I've got some stuff for you, and that was amongst it. I mean, I had one of them catalogues back in the day. I don't know whether it was the revived or revised 5th edition. Okay, Annis, no worries, mate. Dave L says very slick. To be honest, it took me ages, Dave, to get that right. Yeah, that's the one, Fred. Well, we have got a tomcat that comes to the bowl. It's a right bullish little thing. It's got a real big head. You can't mistake it. for being a tom, and I just wonder what would happen if he met the fox. Let's just turn the volume down on my phone. No, Bob, it's not snow, it's the reflection of the infrared beam hitting the grass. It reflects back at that colour. It does look a bit snowy. Colin Guntrip says that the black and gold Midland is mid-block only, and he's got one. Yeah, fair play to you. Alan says all the fox wanted was the bonio. Trust me, I think it's actually a female, according to Albert, because he did come back later when the cat had gone and polished off the rest of the grub. I put out a couple of eggs for them last night, and tonight they've got some pasta which I spilt all over the place. That's what them little bits are around the bowl. But there's actually lots of mincemeat and that in there, so yeah, Stefan, it's a vixen, so I believe. I mean, looking at her, I've rewatched that thing. She looks a bit on the tubby side, so maybe we might be having cubs soon, which worries me a bit because there's quite a few of them around here. I have the two pups from last year. They come. And the male and the female, so I don't know. Colin says, is that rain or snow? It's rain, mate. Everything reflects light back from the LEDs on the night vision. If you go out there, it's just pitch black. Yeah, anyway, getting back to that Truck King catalogue, I gather some of you guys used to use Truck King, and that page that's got the PDL2 and the Moonraker 4 and the Moonraker 6, me and my mate, we always used to sit there, you know. What our plan was to get up Ivanhoe Beacon with a small generator and a couple of batteries, an amplifier and a big old beam like that, and just give it large, but we never did. We did plenty of DXing from the hills, but all from the car. Tim the Hampshire Hog says, is it possible to make a beam for 11 metres? Yeah, of course it is. A beam basically consists of a dipole. Right, if you imagine a dipole, that's all a beam is. Behind it, it'll be the reflector, which has to be a certain percentage longer, and the element in front of it will be very slightly smaller. So the reflector's at the back, the radiating element, if you like, is in the middle, and the director's in front. You can look up all percentages of sizes and whatnot, and it's weird because they're not electrically connected. Not the one I had. You had the radiating element and like the other half of the dipole, if you like, that sat on a bit of plastic that was isolated completely from the rest of the antenna. They sort of interact, parasitically to each other, I believe. Never tried it, never done it, but I have had a beam. Tim, I've never had a quad, but you can make, all the instructions are out there for making everything. I mean, an old mate of mine started making a beam and he used wood, like old roof batten, with wire on it. You know, just sort of screwed it all together, you know. I can't remember what it was for HF. I'll have to remember the name of that. Robert Gibbs says about the CRT Xenon. I'm going to write that down and have a look at that actually. Not now, of course. Pardon me. Yeah, it's been chucking it down here in Bedfordshire today. I don't know what the weather's been like with all of you guys. Fred's on the lash. The Guinness, which I believe Fred said was 5%, so that's pretty potent old gear. Mikey Smith saying that the camera looks like Most Haunted. Yeah, it's a bit like that. And that's what always used to get me. I used to like watching that Most Haunted thing. But when they play the footage back, it's like, oh look, it's an orb. It's probably a bit of dust. I see it all the time in my camera. Darren Barwick says he's late. No need for apologies, not in here, mate. PJ box prices are brilliant. This was from Tim the Hampshire Hog, and he says his 9900 was well discounted. I've never heard of PJ box. I ain't going to be buying a new rig for a long time, to be honest. Yeah, Tim, have a look around YouTube. There's all sorts, you know, what you can do. Charlie Tango 11, this is the man himself. He's the guy that donated all of this stuff for me. In actual fact, something I've not mentioned yet, I'm going to connect up that little 50 watt amplifier to the dummy load and just give it a power test. Dipsy says he's seen about 1,000 ghosts in his CCTV. Exactly, mate. Okay, Albert, what aerial did you get delivered, mate? For those that don't know, Albert's recently come back on, and he's been suffering with noise, and I think he's had two aerials up already. So he's not giving up, and fair play to Albert. And just, Albert, I forgot to mention, I did try to add your video to the stream direct through this bit of software. Now it takes me to it, but then it comes up sign into YouTube, blah blah blah, and on the screen that comes up on my software there's no option to click yes or no, so it was, I could screen capture it if you didn't mind that, Albert. You went for the Sirio Performer. Is that the Performer 5000, Albert? Yeah, Albert, if it was me, I would log into YouTube, download your owl video, and then you could put one of your pictures as the thumbnail, or you can split the video, move it apart, drop a picture in there, and then have a fade in, fade out. In actual fact, what I might do, Albert, is a very basic tutorial for DaVinci Resolve. Just how to cut a video, how to make, you know, put a bit of text on it. There's enough of them out there, to be honest, but I do find a lot of them quite hard to follow, because a lot of these tutorials, it's like, right, we're going to do this, and I tried watching one the other day, and the bloke's mouse moved at such a speed, it was a blur, and he clicked on something, and I couldn't find out what he clicked on, and that was Resolve as well. So I'll do it nice and slow. Now, Charlie Tango 11 says, yeah, do it. What software do you use yourself, Meryl? Or are you looking at starting to sort of re-upload and edit? Just like I say, DaVinci Resolve is free. Or was you referring to the power test on the amplifier? Okay, Albert, what I'll do a very basic edit, start to finish, and if need be, I'll go back over it a couple of times just to explain what I've done. Now, if you want to do an intro, obviously you've got to make that yourself, and then you'd plant that at the beginning of the video, and obviously if you had an outro, you'd join it on the back end of the video. Charlie Tango 11 says that he don't, because his vids are awful. Well, Meryl, you know, the DaVinci Resolve is free. It does you need a half decent computer to run it, to be fair. Just to give you all an idea, I'm on an i5, it's got 16 gig of RAM on it. You know, it runs it fine. It used to run it fine on 8 gig of RAM in actual fact, but I just had the money at the time, so I went for the extra 8 gig. Dipsy says he uses Sony Vegas Pro. Do you know what? I used to work with a lad, and I think I was using Serif at the time, which Fred in the Shed pointed me at, and it's a brilliant bit of software. But my version went wrong. It's probably me. I probably buggered it up, so I deleted it. And that this young lad at work, now it's only Vegas Pro, that's the one. You know, I've got one and it's been cracked, and you know, it's like 800 or 900 quid if you want to buy it. Blah blah blah. I went on eBay. I typed in Sony Vegas Pro, and I got a copy for less than 3 quid. It was a download. Fred in the says Serif. Yeah, I like that. Did like that software. Serif 14, I think. And then Fred said to me one day, I'm not doing any updates to it. Shortly after, mine crashed. Meryl, I'll have to enable your comment, because YouTube don't like all this malarkey. And some comments that people make are completely withheld. Google don't like it. Yeah, there's a lot of these buzzy sort of words, and Sony Vegas Pro was very popular for a long time. So yeah, Serif was brilliant, and now I ended up with DaVinci Resolve, but it's quite a steep learning curve. You can do all sorts with it. I would say 90% of Resolve I don't actually use. but because it don't put a watermark on your videos, and you can do everything that your average YouTuber wants to do and more. That's why I use it. Yeah, Swady boy, yeah, fair play to you, mate. Yeah, Swady boy installs CCTV systems and that, so he'll know what he's looking at with mine. Dirty Katie, welcome to the stream, mate. And hi, right back to you, I hope you're well. So, thanks everyone for joining the stream. If you've not took part yet and got in the chat section and said hello, please, help yourself. Come and say hi. Where are you? Who are you? What rig, what twig you've got? I must admit, you guys, when I went to Dublin, I did upload a little video clip. I fancied some real Irish Guinness. And I was only going to have a couple of pints and then go on to something else, but long story. It ended up getting totally lashed on Guinness. But I've never had the export, the 7%. God, I bet that's some tasty old stuff. Andy Bibby says over his head, this computer talk. Yeah, no worries, mate. Yeah, we've all got rigs. Well, I'll just give a rundown on what I've got. Now we'd be here all night, mate. My favourite rig of all time is the CRT 9900. I've got the Anytone version at the moment. Mr. E, it looks like, Northern Utah, USA here. Yeah, welcome to the stream, fella. What equipment do you use over there? What rig, twig, amp, and whatnot? Yeah, all this talk of alcohol. And I'm stuck here with me cup of tea. Darren Barwick, yeah, fair play to you, mate. I've never run a marathon in my life. I was quite badly asthmatic as a kid, and I ain't built for running, let's say. Well, I'm 59 now, I ain't going to be doing that, am I? Yeah, I think the old Fox is a fair weather. Fox, she ain't coming out tonight. Anyway, the guy that was saying about all the computer talk, it's about enabling people to better edit their CB radio videos and upload them to YouTube, so people like you and I can watch them. Yeah, it's all part of it, though not directly, of course. Yeah, anyone who wants to send me some Abbott Ale, you feel free. Purely for medicinal purposes. Mr. E says, any chance with Striker or any experience? Never had a Striker, Mr. E, never. I know you can get them here, but maybe one of the other guys might have had experience with that rig there. My rig of choice at the minute is the Anytone 6666, and I've got plenty of others, including the McKinley, the CRT 6900, 3900. Colin Wiltshire says the latest in the shack was a Lincoln Mark 1 boxed. Yeah, rare animals now boxed. They're fetching silly money. Cracking rig. Research purposes. Yeah, exactly, Dipsy. Bishop's Finger. Yeah, I've had that. Old Peculiar. I've had that as well. Hobgoblin. You know, I like the Hobgoblin Gold, but I don't like the Ruby. Old Speckled Hen. Yeah, sunk a few of them in me day as well. Yeah, the Mark 1 Lincoln, I mean, I had one, I think I told you all before. I wanted one for, you know, probably years, if I'm honest. One came up at the right price, and my mate, who's no longer with us, he put me onto this guy. We met at my mate's house, done the deal, bunged it in my motor, but I just couldn't read the frequency readout properly because of my older eyes, you know. So I got rid of that, and I think I went back to the Ranger 2950. Andy Bibby says CB has never ran marathons, we just ate them. Adrian Hobby. Are you the guy I was talking to earlier, the one that's down in Portsmouth? Alan says he's going to treat himself to a new rig by the end of May. Was that, oh God, was that the Icon he was talking about? Not Portsmouth. So Adrian, whereabouts are you, mate? I'm just trying to put a voice to a name to the username. Gets quite confusing because you get someone on Zello might call himself Joe Smith and their name's Joe, but when they come on here they might be called Spider-Man, Superman, or Dirty Katie, for example. Yeah, okay, Adrian. Well, we got you sorted out one way or another. 7300. I've never had one, Alan, so you let us know. Chris Jordan says he don't understand English. What's your language then, Chris? And Albert Footy says, what radio should you get for mobile? Well, me, myself, I'm going to say 9900 or Anytone 6666 all day long. But they do get hot. You know, you're looking at about 50 watts FM. I prefer them myself over the 6900. Now, I've got both. I'm not slagging off the 6900. But for me, I prefer the 9900. Yeah, someone said the other day, Colin Wiltshire was saying about, you know, the prices of rigs. You know, an old Cobra 148 GTL DX, you know, boxed, you're looking at 250 quid as a starting price. Hugely expensive. I mean, I love the 148. But I don't think I'd pay that sort of money, not unless I won the lotto. Well, it is a live feed, that, of the Fox Bowl. The food's out. If he comes, he comes. if he don't, yeah, it was just a real result that he turned up last time. And here's another thing to consider regarding Albert's question: what rig shall I use for mobile? All depends what car you've got, how much room you've got. If you're planning on running wires straight to the battery, or if you're going to use a separate battery like I do. I mean, I could say get a CRT Millennium and plug it straight into your cigarette lighter socket. You're good to go on AM and FM. But if you want to go sideband, you know, it's a totally different thing. Albert Footy says he likes to look at the Lincoln too. Yeah, they're not legal. And the McKinley is. Both good rigs. I've got both, Albert. The advantage with the McKinley is it's got the full 40 CB 2781 channels in it. Now, if you expand it, obviously it's no longer a legal rig. But it will then go from 24, I think it's 24.700 megahertz right up to 30 megahertz, and the power goes up to about 20 watts. Now, for some reason, Adrian Obbish just made this comment here, and it's been held for review. I wouldn't know why that was, Adrian. I'll show it and then we can all see what he's got to say. Albert, yeah, quite rightly, it's a front facing speaker on the McKinley. They're both good rigs, I like both. But the Lincoln 2 Plus does roughly double the power on sideband than the McKinley. The thing I like with the McKinley, let's just say you did decide to run an amplifier, you can go in the menu and turn the power down and set it at that, so there's no risk of knocking the power control knob and frying your amplifier by overdriving it. Eric's asking about the stock mic on the Anytone. Yes, they're fine. I mean, it's basically a CRT 9900, and I did try a couple of mics on my 9900, one of them being the Capo 532. Although it was alright, 1 minute I'd be over the top, next minute I'd be feedback in. And for me, running a rig mobile, I want no mess. I want to get in the car, well, I want to put the aerial on, get in the car, turn the rig on and go. I don't want to be trying to fiddle with controls. Okay, Swady boy. Mr. E says, have you used the RM KL203? Yes, I did. I actually power tested it. There's a power testing video. If you're not a subscriber, Mr. E, if you hit the subscribe button, have a browse through my videos. I've done a power test on the KL203, the KL200, the Zetagi B300 and the KL400, and I've also got another amplifier that I'm going to power test, which I think is it's probably vintage now. No, I'm not sure, I'll have to look up the age of it. It's this one here. Should be able to see that. Tiny little thing. I've got a feeling that was one from back in the day. For all I know, they might still sell them, but I highly doubt it. John C commented he thinks that the 9900 is easier to use. See, I'm the opposite, John. Yeah, the clarifiers on a 6900. If they bought a 6900 out that had a fine and a coarse, so you could just clarify it or centralise that and use your KC shifters, you know, to knock the fives off or whatever, it'd be great. But there is an advantage with the 6900 over the 9900 in the fact that you can fine tune your outgoing frequency a lot finer with a 6900. If you enable the last digit on your clarifier, you'll find that you can whiz it round and round and round and round. It'll hardly make any difference, but that is because it's a very fine increment that you're changing. Whereas on the 9900 you can't do that, but obviously on the 9900 it's more power, you can change the colour of the display, you know, and all the rest of it, but they are both good rigs. John James got a Mark 1 Lincoln that needs to warm up before it's on frequency. Andy Bibby says no new sidebander radio is ideal in a car. Well, I've got to be, this is to Andy Bibby. What I used to do in my 9900, now most of you have seen all the videos, me driving to work and driving home. Obviously you might have to use a clarifier, and then you'll notice in some of my videos some people might be a little bit off, someone else might be spot on. That's because I was keeping my eyes on the road, but I tried to have it so no one was that far off you couldn't hear him. And if I for whatever reason wanted to go up on the Muppets, I set a memory channel in the 9900, so just pressed the memory button, it took me straight to the 19, changed the mode, everything. And Andy Bibby's saying give me a Jackson all day long. What Jackson are you talking about, the Mark 1 or the Mark 2, Andy? Old Jackson, okay. Yeah, I need to drag out my 6900 to be honest. My mate Paul got it. He bought it from Knights. Weren't brand new, but it's got like the Knight sticker on it. When he was on it, I thought, you know what? That's the best 6900 I've ever heard. And they all sound good, so I thought I'll have that off him, and we done a deal, and I had it. And to be honest, don't think I've used it. There's a joke there, 16 Charlie Tango 004, Eric. He likes the clarifier on the McKinley. Gizmo White, hey up mate. I'm just reading Swadey Boy's comments. Decided to buy new. Yeah, fair enough, Swadey Boy. And Anas Patel said that the 6900 stock mic is awful. They are. I mean, they do work, but I had a 6900 and I must have only had it for a couple of months. The original stock mic already wore out, started cutting out. And I spoke to my mate, and he hated the 6900 at the time. He goes, but I will tell you, Steve, you stick another mic on it, they sound better, and that's what I did. Does the 6900 have memory? Do you know what? I can't remember. I've never used the memory function on it. But with them Albert, you got most of them come with the Muppets programmed in already. The Lincoln's got a memory, which if you'd have watched my Lincoln video, you'd have seen it. What I do, I set up my first memory, so when I press the memory button, it takes me straight to the 1.9. Now, you could be anywhere at that point. Could be on 26 megs, 25 megs, on sideband. One button press, it will take you straight to the 1.9, and you actually be on FM. Adrian Obby says it remembers where you leave to clarify. Yeah, it's strange that. And Fred's just commented that the 6900 software is hard to find. Can't you go straight to the CRT website, Fred, and download it from there? I'm just looking at the time, lads. I didn't know that you were on Facebook, Fred, let alone the 6700 page. Where have I been? Hey up, we got a visitor, and this visitor don't want to be on camera. When you see him there. I'll just point that back over to me. I hope it's a visitor. I'm not a burglar anyway. I have half been expecting someone to turn up. So you might hear the doorbell go in a minute. Pizza's arrived. Now I wish. I'm just having a little look myself. Yeah. How weird's that? There you go, there's the door going. Yeah, it is, Deb. Yeah, it's my moonshine delivery. Has anyone ever had some moonshine? I had some from when I went to Virginia. It was weird because I didn't actually try it when I was in Virginia, but this person who was from Virginia bought a bottle over. Here you go, Steve, get some of that down your neck. I banged back this glass. Oh my god, it's like molten lava once it hit your stomach. I'm not looking at myself, I'm looking at the camera here. Yeah, Avon, I need a bit more blusher, you know, like I do. Andy Bibby said that he uses the channel 14. It's a shame that there's so many, that as more people have come back on, unfortunately you get more, let's say, bucket mouse. They're always going to turn up, always going to be there, always going to be part of the furniture, unfortunately. Yeah, Fred in the shed's doing the off. Catch you later, Fred. Take care, mate. Be safe and all the good stuff. Yeah, I think Fred might have mentioned the 6900 mic once or twice. Eddie's mum looks like she's going as well. Well, I might as well end the stream at this point. I think we're all had a little bit of a chat here. Hope everyone's enjoyed it. If you've decided that you actually like the video, now's your chance to hit like before the dislikers climb on board each other. Catch you later, guys. Thanks for coming along, joining the stream. And all going well. I should have something to upload soon. I might even do like a little video on some of these other things that I've got. I won't do one on the Elenco. What we got here? Something I just quickly want to share with you guys. This Craco pamphlet, how to use the Craco KCB 4010 instruction manual. Cracos are an AM rig, as most of you old timers will know, but on the back someone's jotted down in pen that they saw a yellow GPO radio telecom van. I even wrote down the registration and even wrote down that it had the darkened windows. That was a you know, a little snippet of back in the day when we were all scared with the buzz-biz. Little bit of history right there, but there's other stuff that are, you know, it's just like CB radio memorabilia. It's like this Maxcom 4E. I'm sure a lot of us might have had that. There was a lot of rigs all with the same chassis. Some were all chromed up, like the Cobra, was it 19X? I think the Midland used the same for the Midland 2001, I think it was. But yeah, all interesting stuff, because all this stuff slowly but surely's, you know, ending up being thrown away and non-existent anymore. So for the time being, lads, I say thanks for joining. Maybe our little fox might turn up next time, or maybe even something a bit smaller or a bit larger. So thanks for turning up, guys. This is Charlie Tango 318 saying stay safe, catch you soon in the next stream. All going well, blokes. Yeah, catch you later, Stefan. Adrian Obby, later, mate. Mr. 004, Eric, 73s, mate. Thanks for coming along. I think Fred's gone already, to be honest, Andy, but maybe he might sort of be on the side. Here we go. Take care, guys. That's it. I'm hitting that big off button.